I just got a text. It just dropped in my phone and it said, we should go fishing sometime. I couldn't believe it. And I really couldn't believe it. In 12 years, he might have spoken 10 words that weren't related to how much he hated me.
Hi, I'm Maddie and welcome back to the Anti-Alienation Project. I talk about all things related to parental alienation. Last year, I figured out the truth that I had been alienated from my dad by my mom for 20 years. Since then, I've been on a recovery journey, rebuilding my relationship with my dad and speaking out about this form of abuse. Shout out to Jack for sending me this video yesterday. I was pretty flattered because he was talking about my project in his video, but the video is really about how he's been able to reconnect with his child. And I wanted to play this video for you guys today and comment on it a little bit because I think it can offer a lot of parents some much needed hope. This targeted parent's name is Steve Fisher. 15 videos, not many subscribers. If you like this video, I'm sure he'd appreciate more subscribers, but I wanted to just go over this one video that he made and react to it. So let's get started.
Hi, hey, my name's Steve. I made several videos, well, 2 videos, this is the third one on parental alienation. And I almost didn't make this one because I don't want to jinx anything. I'll make this video very brief. The brief story is that my kids have been alienated from me for about 12 years. And my daughter I still see occasionally, not very often. And when I do, it's very pleasant. It's wonderful. But you know, I emailed her, I don't get a response. You know, it's a very one-sided relationship. But my son I had absolutely no contact with at all. He's the older. He's 2 years older. And so of course, you know, a lot of things run through your mind, like what's going on? How can you know what? And I had different theories, but one of them I had absolutely. I say this with great pleasure. Absolutely no idea that it would happen like this. As a result of watching these various videos on YouTube, and if you're curious about parental alienation, you've looked, there's hundreds, thousands maybe of them. Some are better than others, and I think on my other videos I recommended Amy Baker, which is really very interesting. But the other one I'd like to introduce, or recommend, it's called the Anti-Alienation Project. I mentioned that in my last video. The young lady who does it, her name is Madison or Maddie, I think she goes by Maddie. And she just put one up tonight. And the title of it is, so the name of the channel, Anti-Alienation Project, the name of the video, How to Love Alienated Child and Protect Yourself. She gives you two things to think about as far as a mindset.
Yeah, so I'll link this video. I'll try to put it on the screen as you're watching the video if you want to go take a look at that afterwards. This video is basically, I think, the healthiest way for targeted parents to go about communicating with their child without having the constant feeling of anxiety and like you're walking on a tightrope. I actually think that's probably a good way to communicate with anyone in general too. So this guy gives me a little shout out in his video, so I think that's really nice. Just to know that I'm making an impact some way. Feels really good, not gonna lie. Feels like I'm achieving my purpose here.
She counsels parents or suggests to parents that they have really no expectation. In other words, don't get your hopes up, is what she's saying, because you're very likely you're going to be disappointed. And for 12 years, I have been very disappointed.
Yeah, you're most likely going to get your hopes crushed if you write out a message with the intention of your child coming back or your child spending time with you. So that's why I would just encourage to write a message with the intention of just expressing your love unconditionally, regardless of whether they delete it or respond or anything. Do it for you and write what you can live with.
And the other thing she said is that the things that come out of your kid's mouth, don't really think of it as coming out of your kid's mouth. Think about it as coming out of the alienating parent's mouth.
So I think in that video I said that the child is like a microphone for the alienated parent's script. Well, I've done a lot more thinking since that video, and I've realized, and this is through my own personal experience, but also through our support group with other child survivors and researching, the alienated parent, they take over the child's mind just like a cult. They have molded the thought patterns that the child will have when they think about their other parent. For example, even last year when I spent time with my dad, even after learning the truth, if I saw something that in the past my alienator parent would have pointed out to me as evidence that my dad was a narcissist, for example, I would start having those similar thought patterns I had had for 20 years. I think that's more comfortable for my brain. It's almost like going against the grain of what I've been believing and thinking for the past 20 years. It's more effort, it's more painful. My brain doesn't like to naturally do it, so I have to keep it on that track. I'm just saying all this because I wanted to point out that the very thoughts your child has and the way their brain operates has been completely crafted by their alienator parent. And it happens usually without them thinking about it. The thought patterns have been molded. They need to be broken at this point.
In other words, the kid is really just a pawn or a spokespiece for this other parent who's trying to sabotage and bring misery into your life.
Destruction.
Okay, so I gotta tell you this.
This is the good part. You're not gonna want to miss this.
I just can't believe this has ever happened. I really truly lost all contact with my son. He wouldn't respond to my text, so I stopped texting. And through a lot of these videos, including one of Maddie's, they say reach out to your kid on a somewhat regular basis and just remind them that you love them, you miss them, and hope you're doing well, that kind of thing. And I did that about 2 weeks ago. I just did it, and I didn't expect anything.
I love this. You can see the joy in his face. It's making me smile because just seeing him so happy about what you're about to hear. Oh my gosh. This is what gives me the most joy, because he's feeling the way that I felt when I learned the truth last year and learned that my dad is not who I believed he was. It was one of the best days of my life. I was so happy. It was like a dream come true. I know that's a cliche and annoying, but it was something I had never wished for or thought about or imagined. And because of that, I was so taken off guard and taken aback. But still, if I think about that time, I'm like, oh, the best time. And I just can't stop smiling. And I think that's what this guy feels too.
Didn't figure I'd hear anything at all. About 4 days later, I just got a text. It just dropped into my phone and it said, we should go fishing sometime. I couldn't believe it. And I really couldn't believe it. I mean, in 12 years, he might have spoken 10 words that weren't related to how much he hated me. That's it. A couple of times he mentioned things that weren't necessarily how much he hated me. But that's it. And so to get these, 6 words saying we should go fishing sometime? Unbelievable. So I still, of course, and I just saw the video now, but I still realize that I'm trying to protect myself. Don't get my hopes up. It might not happen. This might be part of a trick of some sort.
Okay. After 12 years of being rejected and after having your kid display hatred and anger and fear towards you, it does make me sad to see this guy so anxious and reserved because maybe his child is not being sincere about wanting to reconnect. It's totally understandable though, and this is another part of the destruction of parental alienation. It is one pathological person making a parent and a child believe that they don't love each other, and it's all fabricated. And even when the child does learn the truth, or when they do reconnect, reach out with the targeted parent, it's not like they run into each other's arms and everything is healed and they run off into the sunset. No. The reconnection phase is filled with a lot of anxiety, confusion, resentment sometimes, anger sometimes, sadness, grief, a bunch of different emotions that are hard to deal with. It does take time to get comfortable being in each other's presence. It does take time to trust each other again. The damage of parental alienation is something that you can spend a lifetime trying to resolve. So I can see that playing out here, but I'm still so over the moon happy for this guy.
So I right away texted him right back and said I would love nothing better to do that. Yes. So waited a couple of days. I don't want to rush. I don't want to freak him out. I don't want to, come on too strong. But he got back to me and says Wednesday would be good, Wednesday morning. So we met and we went fishing. And I'm telling you, and he's 23. It was everything that you would expect a parent and child relationship with an adult child should be. we went out, we fished. He had some fishing experience, which I didn't know about. And I had a little bit. We didn't catch anything, but I didn't care. I wasn't fishing. I was there to try and restore this relationship.
That is so touching, so sweet. After 12 years. 12 years. If I could learn the truth after 20 years, and this kid could learn the truth after 12 years, I really think that very few kids are a true lost cause. So happy for him. So happy. And I think it's good that they did an activity like fishing, because then you can kind of fish and talk at the same time. There's not so much pressure on the child to just talk.
And it's just amazing that I had about 3 or 4 hours with my son. We went to lunch, and that's it. And I said, well, am I able to text you again? He says, yeah.
Okay, that breaks my heart. That warms my heart and breaks it all at the same time. Good job to this dad. I mean, he is so aware of the situation and his son's boundaries and his son's emotions that he goes the extra mile to say, am I able to text you again? That breaks my heart that he feels like he can't just text his son. I also have lots of respect for this dad because he asked his son, where do we take it from here? Can I text you again? What are the boundaries? He's kind of trying to let the child lead, and that's exactly what I would say targeted parents need to do. Hats off to you.
He says, don't worry, not too much. I won't come on too strong. He says, no, there's no parameters. So I'm making this video, and just to let you know that good things can happen, good things do happen. It's a video that I never expected I'd be making. And I feel so incredibly blessed.
Oh my gosh.
So hope you take this to heart and hope this helps you. Thank you.
I have shiver bumps. I still have shiver bumps from that video. I really like this guy. He seems genuine and just really open and honest about his journey. What he says at the end there, I never expected this to happen. That's what I kept repeating after I figured out the truth and had that moment with my dad where we didn't go fishing, but we went to the park to work out together. And I remember saying, I never expected this to happen. I think the experience of the targeted parent and the alienated child, emotionally during, before, and after the alienation is very similar. I hope that helps people understand a little bit more of the alienated child's perspective. That hole that you may feel inside of you, that wound is the same thing that they're experiencing. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I think it brought a huge smile to my face. I'm going to message this guy and let him know that I'm making a video about his journey and his win. Amazing things do happen every day. And with such a concerned effort on the part of groups like the UN and the World Health Organization and SHARA and all these individuals like One Mom's Battle and just all the family court system in general, trying to deny that parental alienation exists, trying to call it something else. It's just white noise, distracting from us actually solving the problem. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to make parental alienation a household term. Everybody is aware of it. Everybody knows it, can identify it. And if you notice someone doing alienating behaviors, I want people to feel empowered enough to speak up on the behalf of the child. And so people need to know the devastation it causes in order to have the strength to speak up. And they need to know the term in order to identify it in the first place. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed hearing from Steve Fisher, I would encourage you to check out his channel and maybe support him by subscribing. But this is not just Steve's story. Do not lose sight of hope. Hope is the most important thing to have. If you lose hope and stop believing your children will ever come back, the chances go down to almost nothing. And there is some truth to self-fulfilling prophecies. If you have hope and believe it will happen and believe it can happen, it is much more likely to happen. Hang in there, you got this. Keep fighting, never give up. If you like this video, subscribe, get it in the algorithm. A lot of exciting things coming up. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Bye.